And welcome back to the swamp, everybody. This is the Ogre in the Ass podcast. Oh, wow, that was not it. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the swamp. This is the Ogre in the Ass podcast. Eric, how you doing today, bro?
Pretty good, actually. I just woke up, took a nice shower, wiped my ass, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Why you gotta bring that up? Why you always gotta bring ass into this, man?
It belongs in everything.
Let's not go there. Dude, all right. Well, so, again, one of those days where we just kind of think, like, we need to get up here. Let's talk about something. We always talk about a lot of subjects behind cameras, like when we're not in front of the cameras or have the microphones in front of us, that we just go on forever about. And
That is true. We do freeball it more off camera.
I know. There's sometimes I think maybe we should just have microphones follow us. We should, because I'm just like, there's times I'm like, why the hell are we not just, someone get the microphone, let's go. Like,
right, but then I'd get canceled, and then you be, called racist, and it goes back and forth.
I wouldn't be called racist. What would I be called racist for?
No, I'm just saying we have these deep conversations about stuff. We'll rant and rave about dumb stuff. Whether it's politics, whether it's color, whether it's whatever.
I think we go in on everybody.
Oh, exactly.
Like, everyone gets it all the same.
Out of how society works is they'll hone in on that one thing specifically that you mentioned. Out of the billion things you brought up, that's the one thing.
That's the one thing they'll get me on?
Yeah.
It's the one thing they'll get you on. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's funny. Someone brought up to me the other day. They're like, Eric said like retarded like 4 times in one of your podcasts. And I'm like, yeah, that's what he's going to do. Have you met him? So,
and for the record, I never mean like retard, like, you're mentally disabled. I mean retarded as in you're acting retarded. Because I have respect for kids who are retarded, because you know what, you can't help that. But Eric, when it comes to like
Eric,
people,
I think you're doing yourself a hole now.
I'm just saying.
Can we just leave this one?
I'm just saying. You know what I mean by retard, all right?
Anyway, after this wonderful infomercial we just brought you.
Gosh.
Well, I think this is just a perfect way to lead into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, the Special Olympics.
Oh, I'm
joking.
I'm not.
I'm joking. We're not.
I'm not helping you. I will separate this company. We're done. After this, we go our separate ways.
We're separating the swamp. That's your half.
That's your half. Stay on your half. I'm building a wall through my half. Oh, yeah. Well, today, we plan on talking about cancel culture. And what I love about it is, again, we just take a look. Like, we have a whole list of prompts. We just sat down and was like, let's just pick one. Boom. Got it. Because I think we could talk about this for a very long time.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, cancel culture. Let's just get it out there. Should it be a thing? We're not asking if it is. It clearly is. And we can think of plenty of examples. But do you think that society needs cancel culture?
This depends on what you're canceling. I mean, here's my thing. Hot take. As much as I trash on, what's that generation after us? 2003?
Like the
2011?
Like millennials? No, I guess we're millennials, like Gen X or something.
Is it Gen X?
Yeah, something like that.
Either Z or X, whoever.
Whatever they are. I don't know, Gen Z, Gen X, I don't care.
But those people,
The one with the letter?
Exactly. I always tell myself, okay, even though I don't like, you guys are too much, I do respect the energy you put into making something happen. As stupid as it is to cancel somebody on Twitter or whatnot, I understand if you feel greed about something, all right, speak your mind. But you shouldn't be allowed to have that kind of power over an individual's money. For example, let's just say someone says something racist who's Caucasian. Mm-hmm. Okay, if he's 40 years old and that's his first time being caught saying something racist, chances are it was a fluke. Maybe he's been racist his whole life. I don't know, but I'm not going to cancel the man's, money because of one incident. And
that kind of brings up something, I guess, in long terms of racism. Like, you lived in Kentucky. You lived in Tennessee. So you were around it. You've been in the Klan, someone in like a Klan member's home. Is that right?
Oh, no. That was Elder Ia. He went to a Klan member's home. He's a brown person who went to a Klan member's home. I was just around Hell's Angels and people who were,
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
beast.
though,
yeah.
Do you think... do you feel like there's much room now for people to change? Like, so if someone was racist, let's say 50 years, the first 50 years of their life, and then at 51, they're like, I'm not a racist anymore. And like, do we still just label them now the rest of their life a racist, even if they try to make, some sort of reconciliation the rest of their life? Or is it just like, no, like you've kind of dug your grave, or you did your damage, you posted or pressed or pushed propaganda?
In my opinion, there's room for, forgiveness. For example, there was 2 guys. One guy, he's claimed, his daughter got together with a black man, had a kid, and he was super racist, against his daughter getting with a black man, because I guess in her opinion too, the reason why, because he was a stereotype, he didn't hold down a job, he was always in and out of jail, doing that kind of stuff. So there was that too. There's that aspect.
I don't feel like that's a racist thing. You could be white as snow, and I'm still like, you're a loser. You need to stay away from my kid.
No, I understand that, but she also had other stories about how they were growing up.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So it's funny though, when she had her kids, she has 3 of them, biracial kids. He's a lot more different towards them now compared to, what it would have been like 20 years ago. So it takes grandkids. And that's one guy in Kentucky. And the other guy was a Hells Angel. My favorite man of the mission, because he was a hardy Hells Angels dude. He rolled with them, back in the day. He was the enforcer for the Hells Angels. He was married to a woman who was in the Hells Angels. And he has a crazy story, because I think it's back in the late 90s. His wife was killed in a traffic stop by another black man, and so that already jaded him with the black community, because not only if you're in the Hells Angels and the old school Hells Angels, you're a little bit racist, but now that a black person killed your wife, now that's going to be that stigma. Fast forward 15 odd years later, back in 2013, I'm in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. We're talking, his name is Billy Bass, very hardy dude, but I remember he told me a funny story. He told me that he had a black cat. And are you familiar with the H.P. Lovecraft story with the black cat?
It's just like, don't let it walk by you or something?
No.
Is that where it's originated? No, I don't know.
H.P. Lovecraft, you see, he had a cat, and he called it the N-word. The hard R. That was the name of the cat.
That's bold.
And he told me that same joke. He said, "Oh yeah, my cat's the hard R." I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be one of these conversations." As soon as I get in, and this dude is still a hardy Hell's Angel kind of dude. He still has his regalia on the wall. He has his jackets and stuff. He's not afraid to show you. But he's reformed over the years, and he's told me, after like 4 months of working with him, on a religious level, he told me, "Yeah, you're the second black person I've ever, befriended. The other one is an old black lady who lives in this, apartment complex with me. Before, you two, I was a lot more racist." And
wow.
So I was like, oh, that's good.
So do you think he deserves, like, okay, let me put it this way now, kind of bringing it to the topic again. Do you think cancel culture deserves to go after someone like that?
No. Because
he's trying to change?
Exactly. I mean, I know God isn't really a very popular subject this day and age, but let's be honest, God is good because he can forgive. So at the end of the day, we all want to be forgiven for our stupid sins. There's a lot of stupid stuff I've said, and I still say. I don't want people to hold it against me.
Clearly what we said earlier in the podcast.
Exactly. But people who know me, they're like, oh, okay, you're not a monster. You're just stupid, And so I think forgiveness is a very important thing. That's it.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, cancel culture, I think it's one of those pendulums that I think will swing too far, but I can't lie. When it gets it right, there's times I'm behind it. But I'm sorry, there's times too where it should be getting someone in the ass and it doesn't. I don't care. I will publicly say it now. Screw Michael Jackson's music. I don't care. I know it's amazing. I love Thriller. I do. But I can't, man. Like a kid perfectly, what was it? Like, allegedly, I'll just say that to protect ourselves. Allegedly, I guess during court, the kid described his penis perfectly. And I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking like, if that happened to anyone else who wasn't Michael Jackson, everyone would be up in arms like, throw him away, throw him in a prison, bury the prison and bury the key, all that stuff. Yeah. Like, but it's like Michael Jackson, well, hold on now. I truly feel like that happened. I really do.
He just moonwalked his way out of that
courtroom. Right? He mooned his I don't know. And so there's a part of me that's like, when he gets it right, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know why Chris Brown still has a career. He beat the crap out of Rihanna.
That's true.
And we keep him around?
That's true.
What has he got?
And it's funny. I've heard
issues.
People,
Sorry,
no, he does actually. No, because people are funny because they made a good point about that. It says, well, the only reason what happened was I guess with Chris, he's had a good track record, I guess, beforehand, and just him hitting her was probably in retaliation. But then my biggest issue is, obviously, she's a petite person. You're a grown man who's very fit. If you really wanted to get her out of get her out of your face, just shoo her out the way and then walk away.
He shooed her out of her own face. We couldn't recognize her.
Exactly, but he took it too far. That was the issue. Yeah,
that was like
there's self-defense.
No, there's no way that was self. I will not believe that was self-defense. They could pull any crap they want.
Too far. That's the issue. Like for me personally,
she was deformed for like
I know that's
3
what I'm
months.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I just would have like pushed it out the way, don't touch me. But if I had to defend myself, I would. But I would never beat someone that
Do
bad.
you think it was actual self-defense? In all honesty, I understand what they're creating,
I'm saying what a lot of the fans say, like because the fans say he had a good track record beforehand.
no, he just didn't get caught.
Or maybe that's it too.
Okay, let's put it this way.
know.
There's a bishop right up the road in Lehigh, Utah. I don't give a crap. I'll out him. Lehigh, Utah. He got caught trying to solicit a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Okay. He had never been caught before that, and we could have used that same excuse, like, well, come on, like he has a clean track record. He's a bishop.
But do we know?
No.
But do we know with Chris Brown? We know with the bishop across the street, he had a track record. But with Chris Brown,
We didn't know that. We didn't know that until then. And
know,
like even that.
That's what I'm saying. Though, but like, we need more evidence. We can't just say he's going around beating all women. just
the ones that won't rat him out.
Just
That's
Rihanna.
the one. Yeah.
And like, no, I agree. Like since then, I haven't listened to Chris Brown's song or even freaking what's the other one? Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. I just
R. Kelly.
I love all three of them, but I just
you're
can't
fighting
do
for
it.
my life.
Right?
Anyone go watch that R. Kelly interview? It's the funniest thing. He's all crying. I'm like, you don't get to cry after what you did to 15-year-olds? Stupid.
That's another thing too that drives me insane. Like like you said about the back with cancel culture. How you gonna pee on a girl and then be like, oh my gosh, get off scotch free?
So what I do hate is that Dave Chappelle, and I love that Dave got off so clean for saying this, but when Dave said did that skit of like, I knew at 15 I didn't want to get peed on.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously she could make the decision and chose to stay. And I'm like, Dave, shut up. The problem is you're making everyone laugh while being an asshole.
And Riley said the same thing with Boondocks. Move out the way.
Right? No. Hell no. Yeah, I don't listen to R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, more and more. And it's one of those things that it's like, I'm not going to support someone who does that. Now, especially if it's someone who's passed later on, and it's like we find out later, like all this stuff happened. I'm like, okay, like, of course, like they're dead. If they're dead, it's like, okay, well, that sucks, but you can't punish them anymore. There's nothing you can do to them. But I'm like, for people, and of course, like I know now that Michael Jackson's gone, but there was plenty of suspicion when he was alive. Plenty. And, but here's the thing, like, Chris Brown's still around. Why? Why do we listen to him?
If it's that clout,
I don't get it. Like, let's just be honest. If you got money, you're above the law. Laws are for poor people, just so everyone knows.
Oh yeah.
I just want to educate the public. I will put this as an educational video. No, the one bit of education is that if you're rich, you're above the law. Clearly.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
And if you're one of the few cases where the laws don't get you and you're filthy rich, you'll end up Epsteining yourself.
I know, right? Gosh.
No, so cancel culture. I think it has a place because we should remove people who hurt people. Yeah. That's my thought, right?
Can we start with Congress?
Oh boy, let's not. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I'm just saying.
I can't. We could go off on something. I'm not even political. That's the worst part. I feel like I'm forced into politics now.
That's how I feel.
Because it's
in 2016.
so dumb. It's so dumb what happens now, and it's in everyone's face.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't want to know this. I'm not political. If you guys, like, just so everyone knows, like, I don't have a party. I don't have anything. I don't register with nobody.
I'm libertarian. 2017. Vote for Jorgensen. 2024.
Yeah, you do you. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care the backlash I get from it. But my thing is, like, there's so much stuff now that is just in our face because how stupid people are.
And that's exactly why I got into politics in 2016 because I didn't even vote in 2016. I could have, but I was like, you know what? No, I don't know anybody. But I do like what, of course, Trump had to say because he was actually talking some sense, surprisingly. But my issue is this. If it's forced in my face, I don't want to be that adult who just allows it to happen. So the least I can do is be a voting block for Democrats and Republicans. That's why I always vote Libertarian now. Because I just want to be like, hey, look, I don't appreciate either party. I don't even like politics. I want to be left alone, which is why I like libertarians because really their politics are just no politics. Just leave me alone. Let me live my life.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I just do that regardless. And I still won't claim libertarian or anything. Nothing. I have views that are more probably conservative and some views that are probably more liberal. I don't care. Anyway, so cancel culture. Yeah. Dealing with that, man, it has a place. In my opinion, it has a place. But the problem is when it overswings also. Now, I just talked. So our previous examples were when it missed a mark. Like, why the hell are we still having Chris Brown on? Why does he get any camera time?
Why does the Catholic Church still exist?
Oh boy,
how many little boys were touched by the Baba Booey?
Yeah, like where's Priest McFeely? I know he's out there somewhere.
Exactly.
No, this is like the second time we've talked about the Catholics on our podcast.
Wait, did we?
Remember the first one that got caught on a grinder?
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm cool. I separate the Catholic officials from the regular Catholic people. For
Well, he was a
example,
Catholic official. He was
Well,
a high
no.
official.
I meant like, the official heads of the church in the
Oh,
Vatican
okay. Yeah, I got
versus
you.
the peasants who pay the tithings. We're all peasants,
Thanks, Welp.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So when I attack the Catholic Church, it's the higher ups, not the lower downs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I feel you. So we talked about like when missing the mark, but I think there's also like at times a bit too much of a where the pendulum swings too far. And again, like the fact that people have even brought it up, like Eric said, retarded. Man, when did we change that First Amendment rule? Man, let him say what he wants. It ain't hurting nobody. Now,
Right.
Granted, I understand like why some people take offense. I kind of get why people take
No, I
offense to
get
it.
it. Yeah.
Like, there's words I clearly don't say, which is why when you called me a racist earlier, I'm like, what the hell?
Well, no,
I don't do that.
I don't
Like,
think that, but the fans would probably think that.
I live with a black dude.
I know, but I'm just saying how the mind works now.
I don't care.
In the
Whatever.
Twitter era.
But that's the thing too. So actually, we could just use that as an example. How you just thought it'd be funny to call me racist. And I'm like, I don't do anything like that. I don't say those words.
I know.
I never drop the N-bomb.
Yeah,
And
the
here-
over is not racist. All right.
Eric, thank you for defending me. But let's just put it this way. Let's say now someone took that first clip and was like, cancel him. Just they know nothing
Well, let's
about
be
the
honest,
situation.
You have no way of getting paid yet online. So
No.
there's nothing to cancel.
But what I'm talking about is that they could just cancel. I'm using it as an example.
Oh, okay. Now you're
Like
fine. Yeah.
people who don't know the full context would then be able to come after us, or me or whatever, and just cancel. It's like, wait, you didn't understand that was just a joke or this or that. And now obviously you need to be tactful in the way we say things, like anyone does. Even comedians have to.
Oh, yeah.
But with cancel culture, I fully believe it can go too far, and it almost becomes a Harlem witch hunt.
Yeah, no, it
Which
does.
is like you're just looking for anything and everything. There was a guy a couple years ago. He put up this banner at a baseball game. It was like, I need money for Coors Light, and he put on his Venmo. Well, he got so much money donated to him that he gave money to a charity. Well, then people went back several years into his Twitter where he said like a racist joke or two. Okay, still not an acceptable thing. I get it. And with that being said,
I bet you it wasn't that funny. That was the issue.
it's only racist if it's not funny. So, but what was even funnier about it is that people are like, dude, that was like 7 years ago, or it was like several years ago, and they're like, are you really attacking him after he just brought up this money for charity? Like he donated this money to charity.
Yeah.
And what was funny that they went after the reporter. This is the one time I think it finally got right when the pendulum swung back and hit the dude in the face. The reporter who went and found that tweet, or a couple of tweets of like some racist jokes, I guess. They found racist jokes in his Twitter history, right there and there. Just fired. He was done. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
you went snooping through someone's past. You judged their present self by their past self, and you thought we weren't going to do the same.
Right. The internet is very unforgiving.
I love Twitter only for that reason. I hate Twitter altogether. I really do. I don't care. I'll say it. But that one reason when it gets used like that, I love it. I think it's hilarious.
No,
It got
it's karmic justice.
Oh.
Karmic justice.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Universe, karma. I thought it was great.
It was nice.
So cancel culture going too far.
So, do you think that Ford and Volkswagen should be canceled?
Dude, I'm being on. Dude, don't. Okay,
you think they should?
First off, I'm going to put this out there too. We're getting into our personal lives here, okay? You brought up trucks. Now we're getting into our personal lives here. I'm a Chevy man. Okay,
I'm a Ford kind of
getting
guy.
Chevy.
I like trashy cars.
I can
Yeah.
tell. Anyway, so Eric, you and I know why you brought this up.
Yeah.
Explain to the people listening or watching why you just brought up Ford and Volkswagen, because it's funny. More and more people, I feel like, do not know the full story behind those two companies.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
All right. So,
First, let's do Ford first.
okay, Ford. They make very good cars. Let's just start off there, Ford. So don't sue
Don't
us.
say the real thing. You
But-
saved in the past.
But in the past, during World War II, they did give a lot of their vehicles to Nazis. And here's the messed up part, people. That's going to blow your mind. It got to the point to where when the Allied nations were bombing these vehicles, Ford actually got recompensated for those destroyed vehicles after the war was over. So not only did he help an enemy, but we paid him for it, which is actually a very American thing now. With it, just
That's not okay.
I'm
we,
just
we
saying.
can get into foreign politics later. Foreign politics later.
But anyway, and with Volkswagen, that's German made World War II vehicles. That made the majority of their vehicles. And obviously Volkswagen is still a very popular brand today.
Clearly.
Same thing with Haas Boss. He was the dude who I think designed a lot of the Nazi suits. He has his own clothesline company in Europe, and it's banging. But we don't cancel Haas Boss. We don't cancel Ford. We don't cancel.
And if I remember
Volkswagen.
correctly, I remember learning that. I could be wrong. Dang, maybe you need to Google this. But
That's a good idea.
yeah, bring it up. I could have sworn Volkswagen was originally made for Hitler. Like I thought it was in there. Like this is his vehicle. So yeah, while you look that up though, but yeah. So how do I feel about that? Like from a Chevrolet point of view, yeah, cancel Ford. I don't care.
That's true. You're kind of biased.
Yeah, I'm gonna be biased either way. But from that, man, that's man, that's difficult because it's like, well, they make great stuff, but no, I don't care.
Okay, well, I mean,
should they be canceled? I mean, if we're gonna stick to you can't judge people by their past. Because then you could use that on Chris Brown. See, that's the problem. You can't draw a line in the sand because then you got to draw it on everybody.
You see, that's why forgiveness is such a wonderful thing. Again, not to sound religious.
I'm
not
thinking you're getting all spiritual about it.
I'm not a spokesperson for Jesus on this podcast, but I'm telling you now. There's a reason why forgiveness helps us in the long run. Because we're all sinners in the eyes of God. And if you donate to this number right now,
help a brother out.
What's that, the 700 Club?
Dude, yeah. Oh, gosh, the 700 Club.
If you donate right now, you can save a kid named Eric McCrae.
Go to our website, helpabrotherout.com. No, man. Man, like this podcast is like, so this episode in particular, one thing about it is that it's hard because, again, you can't just draw a line in the sand. Now, it seems like, yes, you can. Okay, then you better really do your research and understand. Don't ever, if I'm someone too, I still don't listen to Chris Brown, like I said. I don't listen to Michael Jackson. I don't, I'm not going, R. Kelly, I don't listen to R. Kelly. Anyway, but do you draw the line in the sand just at singers or celebrities? Do you just draw it at anyone who's current? Like if there's a 50-year difference, does that make it okay now?
Yeah.
From whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. So cancel culture at times is a joke because it either completely overswings on the pendulum or doesn't swing at all, and we miss the people we should be getting. Can I just say I am happy?
By the way, it was made for Hitler.
Yeah, it was made for Hitler specifically.
Yeah, back in 1937.
Yep, back in 1937, Volkswagen was made for Hitler specifically. I better not catch any of you driving a Volkswagen right now.
Traitors.
Tell me on that Nazi stuff. No, I'm just joking.
You're canceled.
You're canceled. All of you with a Volkswagen, we're coming to cancel you. And a Ford, but that's me being selfish.
What are you going to say, though?
Oh, man. No, okay. So I guess what we want to get at, and Eric, do you think there ever could be a line in the sand with cancel culture? Because, like I said, there's stuff with the pendulum that swings way too far. There's times it doesn't get swung enough. But the one thing I do like is that when it hits right, like Harvey Weinstein, I was so happy at what came from that when people were finally speaking up and they were women were coming yes, but I think that also led to a pendulum that might have overswung. I'm not gonna act like I know too much about it, but the Me Too movement maybe went a little too far in ways where there were some cases I was like, what? I was listening to him I don't like to discredit anybody. If it happened, everything should be investigated. Every case should be investigated, of course, in depth. But there's just times too, I'm like, this is such a stretch. For some of the stories that started coming out, I'm happy if we get a sexual predator, end them, get them. I don't care. They're preying on people. Drake Bell. I'm gonna drop his name.
One of my childhood heroes, but he gotta go.
Drake Bell.
Yeah.
Okay, so for people who don't know, in recent news, Drake Bell, one of the leading stars in Drake and Josh, he was caught up recently and just sentenced. Oh, I don't think he's actually going to go to prison. I don't know exactly.
He's too rich.
No, I don't know anymore. But anyway, Drake Bell got caught up sexually grooming a minor. And I believe that there was some sort of sexual contact between the two. But it's Drake Bell, this dude who was every teenager's heartthrob growing up. He was on top of the world in, late, or I guess you'd say early 2000s, from 2004 to 2010. And then look at him. Then he comes out to be a predator. And I'm like, we better get him. I don't think he got enough news. Like, no, put some clout on that right now. See it. Like, the people you think you can trust the most, doesn't mean it.
Oh yeah, which it's a shame because, like I said, growing up, Drake and Josh, was my show, one of them, and years later, I'm, I learned that you can't trust anything that's Hollywood. Unfortunately, you got your Weinsteins, your Drakes, there's a lot of people out there who aren't the heroes. The only people who are consistent, Mr. T, Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, I was saying that.
That's the only two consistent people in Hollywood who have remained clean.
No, there's more than that. Just probably no one come to the top of our.
That's true. Okay, Keanu Reeves.
Oh man, that's my guy.
Yeah. Like if you look at his pictures,
you couldn't cancel Keanu.
Yeah,
like, literally, he has reverse cancel culture. The more he tries to privatize himself, the more people try to bring him into the limelight. Like, don't where you going, Keanu? We need you. You're too respectful. You got to stay in the limelight, dude. It's funny. I do like that.
But it's funny though, going back to what that Weinstein thing, and one of our kids, he's trying to get into Hollywood, and you know him too. I'm not gonna drop his name, but he's a good kid. But one thing I told him is like, hey, look, bro, you're a good kid. You have great morals about you. So do me a favor and don't turn into one of those Hollywood people who either deal with dark stuff or become part of the crowd.
You think you're allowed to treat people however you want?
Yeah,
I really
just remain innocent.
I truly like.
And I told him that remain innocent.
I don't know. Maybe it's just it sounds so easy. It's in my own perfect world. The certain people we can and can't cancel. Because again, like if we're like Volkswagen, like you said, was specifically made for Hitler.
Yeah,
we better all go out and cancel it now.
Yeah,
because Nazis are still around. Yeah. He was the leader of the Nazi party. I mean, and we go after Nazis the second they hit the internet. The second we see anything with a swastika on it, we'd go after
These are like lightweight too. These are like their special needs,
Right?
Nazis,
yeah. This is the. I think it's okay if we say it in this case. Like we got the retarded Nazis now.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like we always go after them. Like go after. Why don't you go after Volkswagen?
Yeah. Yeah,
but
what you're saying is basically get very orthodox Jew about it and get very precise on what you're gonna do to cancel.
That's the thing.
Because I agree with you. I'm very at that point to where you need to be very extreme or be very loose, but you can't be both.
I think people only cancel the things they care about, or I guess like if there's something. Let me put it this way: they'll only cancel the things that they're passionate about. Because again, Volkswagen made something for Hitler, but no one's up in arms.
Yeah.
People trying to get the new ones every day, new Jettas.
Yeah.
But with that, you go after someone who we should go after again, like a Harvey Weinstein or a Drake Bell, who we should definitely be going after and canceling. Like people were way more up in arms for that too. No, maybe because it's more recent. I don't know. Maybe just because they're still alive. I have no idea why.
That's true. I think we do forget after a while.
You think it was just because? Do you think the only reason like they didn't get canceled is because we forgot?
I mean, it's just if it's so far away in the past, I feel like chances are they won't care. Like it's one thing to say 7 years ago you had a tweet, but 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, after a while, people are just like, okay, Volkswagen, Ford, we'll let it slide. We haven't forgotten, but we'll let it slide.
I know most people have forgotten.
Yeah.
Dude, like even you like had to look it up for Hitler because I remember I'd heard it. Yeah. I remember I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was back in high school.
On YouTube.
I thought it was back in high school I learned it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So for our audience, that's something for you guys also. One, do you believe cancel culture should be a thing? And two, like where do you draw that line?
Yeah.
Do you cancel only when it begins to hurt people? Do you cancel even when it's also words like someone's just speaking? Like I know something that they'll definitely do now is that for kids who are in a video game chat, like Call of Duty, Halo 3. Halo 3 back in 2010, guys.
Dropping the hard R's every day.
Every day, kids were.
I'd be like, how do you even know my skin color?
Eric and I would just be playing Halo back in 2010. Yeah, we're old. But anyway, playing Halo, and we'd hear it, and we're just like, oh, dude, that is crazy.
Right. And the thing is, at the time we were 18, and these kids were probably 12 years old.
In 2010. I was 15.
Okay, well, a lot of kids are your age and younger who would drop those hard R's. Like, did your mom know you use that word online? At least say it in person. Jeez,
Eric, shut up.
And then afterwards, he had the audacity to teabag me.
After the little shit killed me, he teabagged me.
Gosh,
dude. No, and so that's the thing too. Like, police, if you get caught now, and I guess I don't know how there's the surveillance on it. Maybe it's just you got to turn each other in. But if like a teenage boy says, "I'm gonna go and shoot up your school," police will show up at your house now and arrest them. There's videos of it. There's videos of it happening.
I am actually okay with that.
Yeah, it's cool. You kidding me?
I am okay. That's one thing. Yeah.
That's where you're going to find the next Columbine killer is probably in a COD waiting lobby.
What's that old Call of Duty saying? No Russians. It's the airport scene.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no Russians. Gosh.
So, I mean, do we only pick and choose the things like we want to cancel that we're passionate about, or do we only cancel things when it's recently hurting people or potentially going to hurt people?
I don't know.
Or do we only cancel things when it's mainstream to cancel them?
That's another thing too. Twitter does a lot of mainstream things, and so a lot of people will the bots on YouTube and the stands, they'll go on and be like, "Yeah, I agree with this tired of people," but in reality, it's like you wouldn't have cared if they didn't bring it up.
You know how many people? It's like I'll never ever say like the N word. Okay, and they don't, but
which is a horrible way to live.
Stop it. but then they'll say other racist stuff, other racist things. Like people are like I don't use the N word, but then they'll say a black joke. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking? Like, come on, you got to pick a side here.
See, that's why I like my comedy, because comedians just say what's on their mind, and they do their best to be tactful for the crowd, and it's funny most of the time.
If you make it funny.
Yeah. You know what's funny about cancel culture? To this day, there is a fat statue of Genghis Khan in Mongolia. Literally, that man raped and pillaged and Baba Booeyed his way across
But there was actually things about him too. You're right. Like it's like a third of people are like related to him. Actually Google it. Truly Google it. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Maybe in Asia it's a thing, but through European culture it's not a thing.
What? Oh, being
that
related.
We're all like a third.
Oh well, I mean, he did go all the way to Europe though.
I understand.
I think he stopped at Poland.
No, I totally get that he did, but a third. Like a third of the population's related to him.
I mean, look at Scandinavia. That's all, Viking rape culture.
Anyway,
I'm just saying, Baba Booey.
But stop saying that. No, Genghis Khan. It was funny about that too. Is like, yeah, he went on and he won his wars. He won his battles, but then he also encouraged a lot of freedom throughout it. Like women had more rights. They actually encouraged religion of freedom. Freedom of religion.
Oh, wow, yeah, no.
I'm an idiot. Freedom of religion, not religion of freedom. Oh, that's good. That's like the religion of the USA. That's it right there. We just started a new religion on this podcast, people. The religion of freedom.
I like that.
You guys,
very libertarian, actually.
Oh gosh, it had to make it political.
Welcome to the party. Look at this big old statue.
Oh, people.
131 foot, 40 millimeter tall stainless steel statue of Genghis Khan on horseback. That's a big middle finger to the whole world. And they don't care about cancel culture. And he's very cancelable. All right? I'm just letting you know now. I don't care. I'm not going to cancel the man because I don't believe in cancel culture. All right?
You don't believe in it at all?
Honestly.
You just said earlier that you don't listen to Chris Brown. Well, maybe that's because you're not your style of music anyway.
I mean, he was hot growing up, though, his music. But overall, though, there's limitations. Even though I don't believe in cancel culture, I'm not going to, tolerate wife beating, rapists, pedophilia. That's not my cup of tea. Which is why I'd rather listen to a Catholic regular person down below the peasants than the Vatican on anything. Right now, if the Pope were to walk through this door and try and preach to me, I wouldn't listen to him. Even though he reversed it, he did his best.
I don't know what you're doing in Provo.
I know, all right? But I'm just saying, that's just how I feel about it.
Let's go get missionaries. Someone get this man a Book of Mormon.
Right? But when it comes to stuff like, let's say, Star Wars, how all the hardcore fans, like me, are canceling. I'm not going to cancel Star Wars. Like I don't care for all the Disney stuff that they've been doing to Star Wars, but I'm not going to cancel them. I'll still listen. I'll still watch The Mandalorian. It's still a good show.
And I think that's something too. Is maybe people get misconstrued is that cancel culture and ignoring them are different.
Yeah.
There's I just don't listen or I just ignore them. But maybe I got that a little misconstrued as well. Because I don't listen to like Michael Jackson and Chris Brown, and I definitely don't watch the new Disney Star Wars anymore. Like I give them the one shot, all of them.
Game three good shots there, one after the other. Baba Booey.
But it's one of those things like I'm not up in arms saying like, let's go after them, let's ruin their money. I'm just like, I'm just not going to listen to you, and that's my way of affecting their wallet. Like obviously, they're not going to get any money off me, but
yeah. It's
whatever.
But at least you have your peace of mind, because I don't know about you, but I've been getting really tired of these Hollywood movies anyway. They're all trash.
I'm not getting into that. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not canceling. I'm just waiting for a good one to come out.
We literally said right before we sat down at the podcast that we're going to watch Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's because it's so rare that they have a decent movie. They have Doc
Ock. They brought back like 2 originals.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that they better freaking be the Spider-Man in that too then.
Oh yeah.
I will lose my crap if I don't see
Toby.
If I don't see Tobey Maguire,
Oh,
if
yeah.
I don't see Andrew Garfield, I will demand my money back
We
at
riot.
the front office. We riot. Storm the theaters. No, I mean it though. I'm happy they're bringing back original villains for that, but if I do not see Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield in those movies, I'm going to be pissed. I am. I want to see them. Like I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
The villains are cool, but I really wanted to see them in it because I'm just like, that's awesome. Especially
yeah.
with the multiverse or the Spider-Verse that
Yeah.
came out like a couple years ago. That was awesome.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
That was great, dude. Whatever you're hitting over there, I'm hearing it constantly. You're hitting
the-
something. I don't know. Anyway,
But yeah, you know what I'm actually worried about when it comes to cancel culture? Lord of the Rings on the Amazon series. Because I'm afraid that the hardcore fans won't give it a chance. Even though I'm skeptical of it, I still want them to watch it, and I still want to give it a try just to see. But at the same time, I'm very hesitant to watch it, you know? Because I know how Hollywood can twist something and just make it trash.
yeah.
So again, you know, back to cancel culture. I'm not trying to cancel Lord of the Rings on Amazon, but at the same time, I just don't want to give them money to trash on something that I really hold dear, you know? So,
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I get you, bro.
yeah. How about you though? When it comes to sports, how do you feel about cancel culture? That's more your forte anyway.
Sports, like I'm black and white with it. If they did it, get them, kick them out. Look at O.J. Simpson. Look at O.J. Simpson.
True.
If he had done it, he did it. If he had done it, he did it. I'll stand by that. I don't care. Back in 1994, that might have got me jumped for saying it, but now, especially after he's been arrested for so many things, he wrote a book about if I had done it.
You know, there's actually
he did it.
Oh yeah, and there's actually you saw that interview with one of the jury people. There's a journalist who asked a lady who was on the jury back then, and he said, "Was this payback for basically, you know, the riots and all the other issues that were plaguing the 90s and the 80s?" And she basically said, "Yes, we knew he was guilty, but we wanted to win." I was like, "That's how petty."
She said that.
Oh yeah. They knew.
Find that link.
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
need to
I'll
find.
find that
Don't
link.
find it right now. I want to
Okay.
listen to that.
'Cause that's how petty people can be. It's interesting.
Wow, we knew he was guilty, but we wanted to win.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm not citing a source on that, but wow. No, cancel culture. Like I said, sports too. Get him. O.J. Simpson, he did it. Get him. I don't care. I don't care about your white Bronco. Like I don't. If you hurt people, you don't. I don't know why you should be famous. If you hurt people, your money should be cut off from you. Like I don't just mean like a couple harsh words here and there. I've called people stupid. You know, you don't cancel people over that. But I mean like, no, you've actually hurt, and or in OJ's case, you killed someone.
Yeah, 2 people.
2 people. That's right. It was a double homicide.
Yeah.
In those cases, like get them, go after them. They sexually assault someone, go after them. Like get rid of them. They should not be famous. Anytime their name is spoken, it should be besmirched.
Yeah.
Like
Blacklisted.
And
Yeah.
hold everyone to that standard. I promise you, one thing I cannot stand when it comes to that kind of stuff too is when, like, oh, the Brock Turner crap. 3 months?
Brock Turner.
3 months.
thinking
Dude,
about
back
it.
in 2016, 2017 or something, got caught raping a girl. Got found guilty.
Stanford, right?
Stanford, yeah.
Yeah.
Got caught up 6 months. He only had to serve 3.
Yeah.
What?
What did they say? Because
And his parents are there protecting him.
Yeah, I think the judge said because he has such an outstanding history. You know, like what? That's not how that works. that's not how that works at all.
Dude, we could take this conversation so much deeper just off that topic.
Oh, but I will say this much: when it comes to cancel culture, I don't believe everybody should get involved. But if something ill were to befall your family or my family, you know, and the system itself didn't work, I'm gonna take care of it myself. That's just me personally. I do believe I do believe being a vigilante when it comes down to it.
Any family member, you too.
Oh, yeah.
Any family member, that includes you. If I find out they're like, yeah, this person, like he was hurting kids or people or he murdered someone, I'd be like, get him. I could see it.
Officer, right there.
That Tom and Jerry meme, just
Exactly.
I'd do it. Like, don't hit me up. No, I won't protect you. Now, if you got caught up with drug charges, I'd be like, come on, okay, it's drugs. Like he's hurting himself. I don't care. I actually don't.
Yeah.
In that particular case, I'm like, yeah, let's get him help, but I'm not gonna like let's throw the book 20 years. What's that gonna do? Make him a worse criminal or better criminal, depending on how you look at it. But in that sense of like you hurt someone. Like it is, again, Eric, I'm saying you, but it's anyone.
Oh, yeah,
but
no,
it's
I know what you
literally-
mean.
it could be any family member, any of them. And I hope they hold me to that same standard.
Oh, yeah.
You absolutely hold me to that same
Oh, yeah.
standard. I get caught hurting someone. Throw the book at. Don't protect me. Don't be like, well, when he was a kid, who cares when he was a kid? As an adult, he's a piece of shit.
I know. I love how these you'll see pictures of these people who are assholes. You know, as they were kids though. You know, as adults, they're just dicks. But when they're kids, they're like all innocent looking. It's like, no, don't do that.
And they'll be like, oh, I remember when he was a kid. He was so smiley and happy, and I don't know what changed. What? Cool. I don't care about when he was a kid. I care about the 3 people he murdered.
Exactly.
Like, right? Like Jeffrey Dahmer, 17 people. There's literally a video of Jeffrey Dahmer. At some point in time, I was actually watching it today. It was kind of crazy. But it was about videos of that had a darker story behind them than people realized. And it was just a home video of Jeffrey Dahmer just talking about like either eating at McDonald's or eating at home that day with his mother, like reading a newspaper or something. And at that timeline, it was already said, like, yeah, he had several murders by that point. And here he is just chopping it up with his mom. Yeah. Just about eating at McDonald's or something. And it's like, oh, she didn't know, like, now the most notorious murderer of all time, or at least the most famous, debatably, is sitting right there.
Yeah.
Just talking about McDonald's. So.
Which is what's wild. It's wild. You know.
But yeah, no, cancel them. Cancel people who hurt people who do that.
Also, speaking of like Jeffrey Dahmer and what's the other fool's name? The one who went through Utah, got caught in Pensacola, Florida. Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Yeah.
Can we stop sexualizing these people?
I can't. We can't even get into that now, Eric. I will get so angry.
I'm sorry.
I was so angry off that.
Right? Like,
it's happening again. It's happening again right now. Did you know that?
What?
There's literally like some kid. Oh man, I just saw it like weeks ago. Some kid on TikTok. You could find it. I don't know. So some kid broke a law. He hurt someone. He did something bad, and they're all like, "No, like he's too cute to go to prison." And all this. Oh, it happened to the marathon bomber, the Boston marathon bomber. Did you know there was like a rally behind like, "Well, he's too cute to go to prison," or he's so like.
People are so weird.
People are retarded. I'll say that one.
Yeah.
You support the bomber? Yeah. You're retarded. Man, put some cheese on it. Right? I'm not taking that one back. Cancel me.
About that. That's just. Oh, that bothers me.
I'll take that up. Cancel that one for that one. I will stand true to that.
Exactly. But I remember it was Jeffrey Dahmer, the latest actor who did him. He's a Disney kid.
Okay.
He came out like a couple years ago. Basically talks about Jeffrey Dahmer's young life, all the weird stuff he did as a kid. But I forgot the Jesse. I think not Jesse. I forgot the Disney show. But he's a good looking blonde kid. But he's playing Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like you shouldn't sexualize Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, Same thing with Zac Efron. I love Zac Efron,
but he played Ted Bundy.
But it's Ted Bundy. Come on, man. Come on, don't sexualize Ted Bundy. We have enough of that in the real world anyway.
Yeah, we could go back and forth on this topic. There's no doubt in my mind if we get caught up too much, and maybe within this in this podcast, if people are listening, we've probably had some contradictions even said, because it's so hard to define that line of which is acceptable and which isn't, who we should cancel and who we shouldn't. I think immediately off TOP if they hurt someone.
Oh yeah,
immediately off TOP.
They hurt somebody, cut them loose.
Right. 100%. Eric, I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you.
You never know. I like McDonald's.
I don't care. I don't care if that gloves fit. If the glove fits or if it don't fit. If you did it, I'm coming after you.
If I did, though,
Yeah, just don't write a book saying you did it. All right, man. We talked so much about cancel culture. In my opinion, we got our thoughts out there, but this is such a topic where I truly feel like we could go around and around in circles and no one would gain any ground. You couldn't, because we could always use anything. Because the second we're like, oh, let's do cancel, like, oh yeah, I believe in cancel culture. We go after people. Okay, don't ever drive a Volkswagen. Don't. Yeah. It supported Hitler. Don't ever drive a Ford because they're awful. But also then they supported Hitler. Like, don't. You know what I mean? It's just, where are you going to draw that line? And if you put that mark in the sand, you better stand behind it.
You gotta stick with it, especially if it's close ones you love, like your favorite TikTokers or family or brothers or whatever.
Please.
You better stick with it.
I'll be the first to write them out. I'll be the first on the news. Like, yep, I could have seen it. He got angry real fast as a kid growing up. I remember seeing it too. I saw it in his eyes. I'll rat you out to get myself clout.
I've seen his house growing up. It was rough for him. That's why he messed up now. He guilty.
He'd be like the first day of the trial. He did it.
I'm putting no money on his books for the record. He just did it. All right. But
so you guys know, if you're a friend of ours, don't tell Eric and I you committed a crime. Because what we see is our chance to get in front of a camera.
Right. Fame.
Hey, we can push the podcast. Get on CNN.
Gosh.
Oh, dude. Hey. Well, anyway, man, let's start wrapping this up. Eric, do you got any final thoughts on cancel culture?
I think at the end of the day, just like we said, make sure you draw that line in the sand. Make sure if you're going to cancel somebody, it's due to the fact that they're hurting people. And also, more importantly, put yourself in that person's shoes. Should you be judged accordingly to your past mistakes? And again, we're not talking about the weirdos out there. We're talking about legitimate, I said a racist thing on Xbox Live in 2010. That sort of thing. Is that cancelable? And if so, I need to hold myself accountable for the stupid stuff that I've said in the past. So that's my advice for people.
My thing is, I'll kind of go the opposite of what you said. Like, you can't draw a line in the sand. I thought for a second you could, and like, more I thought about it, more I've really fleshed it out. I'm like, no, you can't, because it's so hard. Like, again, I'm just already never going to drive a Ford. I don't have to worry about that. But a Volkswagen, I don't got nothing against it now besides that.
Yeah.
If we're going through a haunted house and Thriller comes on, what am I supposed to do? Shoot the speakers?
I'm start dancing.
Actually, no, that's stupid because you'll never catch me in a haunted house. That will never happen. So, anyway, man, okay, let's wrap this up. Anyway, guys, for everyone who's listening, watching, we hope you enjoyed this podcast today. We talked about a topic which obviously we don't know enough to talk about, but it's fun because it's so opinionated. You get to one, find out more of your own ideas and how you truly feel about it, but then you get to find out what other people think. And some things, even with Eric and I, it's not always congruent. It's not always, I should say, it's not always parallel. It's not something that, we are always going to see eye to eye on. And, thankfully we can have these topics and these conversations like we should on this platform. And I hope you do have a platform or some sort of environment where you can talk about it. Well, guys, thanks again for watching and listening to us. And until next time, stay the hell out of our swamp.